We're ready whenever you are. You good? All right, Rod, if you want to start us off.
How you doing, Rod?
We've spent a couple of weeks out playing tackle.
Yes, sir.
Now, I guess you're going to be moving back inside again. How was your time out there? Do you have a preference of which position you play?
My preference is whatever makes us the most successful. So if that means I have to play freaking right water boy, then that's what we're going to do. They moved me out to tackle, and we execute. We did our job. Next guy up at right guard. We got a lot of guys that can rotate different positions when things go different ways, and that's the game of offensive line. You know, there's always going to be something that happens, especially later in the season. So that was just the next guy up. Put me where you need to put me, and let's play ball. It's the game of football is very simple. Block the guy in front of you and beat him.
Go ahead, Kelly.
As a senior, you guys have been on the wrong side of close games and stuff. Just kind of what's the message to the team about finishing games and trying to finish and finish out the rest of your career to protection?
For sure, for sure. Next game. You got to play the next game. You can't worry about the past. Life moves forward. Life doesn't move backwards. So it's just like anything in life, you got to focus on what's next. You're going to bury yourself in the past. An offensive lineman, we learned that firsthand. You know, sometimes you let up a sack, sometimes you miss a block. You got to worry about the next block. You got to worry about the next play. And so that's what we're doing. That's what we're preaching. We're close. We got a lot of pieces going together. We got to execute. We got to execute on the small things, and that's what we're preaching. That's what Coach Collins is telling us, and we're believing in. We're putting the seniors are putting our weight behind it, and we're just moving forward. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to play, the next game, the next day. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Ken.
Like Coach Collins was saying on Monday, or yesterday, he was saying like on Monday he showed you guys like 7 plays that could have gone other way and didn't. When you watch that, like what does that make you think?
Well, I think that goes back to what I just said. You know, you got to fix what you messed up on, and we did mess up on some things, and we got to execute on those. It's the small details. You know, a lot of people think the game of football is about the big touchdown pass, the huge run, but really it comes down to a game of inches. You know, it's small details that win or lose a game, and that's what Coach Collins was trying to point out to us, and that's what he did point out to us. That's what we got to execute. We've got a good group of guys. We've got a really good group of guys, really talented athletes on this team. We just got to make sure that we're executing those small details, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to work on that every day in practice. Again, you can't dwell on the past, but you can learn from it and you can move on. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I know that you're not someone who needs extra motivation, but I guess your perspective, I just think you kind of looks from the team is losing 2 in a row and kind of feeling like these games are games we could have won. Does that add to the just sense of urgency or desire to get out there and set them right?
Well, I think the team still has a ton of motivation, and when I say that, I think motivation is like a wave. It goes up and down, and what I really mean is we have discipline on this team, and I think that's instilled from Coach Collins, Coach Lou, Coach Key, and discipline to know that we can execute. And because we have practiced in the offseason, we prepared in the offseason, we see how good this team is, and we know that we can execute. We have the discipline to keep going day after day. Sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes you make mistakes. And that discipline gives you the motivation. Instead of having to remotivate the team, I think the team's already got the motivation because they know that they've put in the work. They know that they've got the ability. And so that's what the coaches are preaching. That's what I think the seniors are trying to push forward, is that we have put in the work. We still got to keep putting in work, but we have the discipline and we have the athletic ability. We have the talent, and all we got to do is go out there and execute. Sometimes the plays don't go your way. Move on to the next one.
Kelly.
What have you seen from Miami's front, the defensive line, and the tape?
I'll give credit to Miami. They're a good team. They're a solid team. And I think they got a lot of good athletes. We're really excited to go down there and play. I've never actually been down there, so I'm excited to go down there and play. But I think it's just what's next. We have a good group of guys, and what we're trying to do is focus on us. trying to focus on how we're going to execute, not worry about them. Like I said, they're a good team, but we need to worry about us and focus on who we are, and we're a good team, and focus how we are going to execute offensive, defensively, and special teams.
Time for a couple more for Ryan. Ken?
Describe a little bit like what Paul's like in person.
Paula? Paula is a character. He always brings the energy. Very, very high energy. Very goofy, but always makes somebody smile when he walks in the room. He does not have a person that he's met that's a stranger, and not a person that he's nice to, but also the same person going up against him would not want to block him. So he has no problem turning the switch on and putting somebody on their back when he has to. Like I said, a bull on the field, but he's like a teddy bear off the field. Everybody loves him.
Anything else? Go ahead and start with Kelly.
You guys kind of does it feel to be recognized like that in terms of people recognizing what you've done in your career again?
It's always an honor, getting recognized. People looking at what you've accomplished, what you've done. But like the team been preaching all year is what's next. We got Miami coming up, and we trying to reestablish our identity. Make sure we're building on something and not just let the season slip away. So that's the focus right now on the team and what we got going on heading into this next game.
As a senior, is that really on your mind now? Is this the games taken away and bowl opportunities and those types of things?
Yeah, senior year, as the games start winding down, you start seeing, stuff starting to play out, and you like, okay, you got to make sure you're handling stuff the right way, make sure it's heading the right direction.
Rod?
Coach Thackers talked about, switching from the three-man front to the four-man front, even front, based on what the offense is trying to do, and also how it has affected your room in terms of getting reps for all the players. How has that adjustment been for you and also for the tackle room?
You can clarify, like, how is the adjustment from going from three-man to
In
four-man?
other words, some guys that are used to getting a lot of reps, four-man front aren't getting them with the three, and so forth.
Okay, yeah. So one thing about the D tackle room or D line room in general is just we're a close knit group. So we're always supporting each other with who's out there on the field, trying to help each other out if we're not out there. Keeping our eyes on the field, seeing what we can see to help each other. So when it's just one of us out there, it does cause a little tension, but at the end of the day, we all know that we're working towards one goal. We want one thing accomplished, so we're all pouring into that guy on the field, making sure he knows what he's doing.
Go ahead,
Do
Kelly.
you like playing the zero more, or it seems like you've done really well with that this season? Do you have a preference playing that or free?
I don't think I've really figured out a preference yet. I'm still kind of just enjoying being out there, getting the
What's different
opportunity.
about it, playing zero versus
The zero, you see a lot of more double teams, a lot of, it's you and the two guards, the center and two guards right there. Besides four-man, it's two D tackles in the center and two guards. So when you're in that zero, you see a lot more double team. You got to hold down a lot more.
Go ahead, Ken.
I was asking Brian this about how Coach Collins, was showing you guys the plays on Monday of, here's what we've done or when you think about that, and obviously, the losses to Clemson and Illinois, like kind of same sort of thing, like just make this one play, things different. Like, can you? It's obviously hard to give everything you have, 100% detail every play, but is there something that like you feel like we need to be doing this better, whether it's being more dialed in or practicing better or whatever, that could change things or can change things?
Yeah, that's one of the main things with those plays was focus, making sure we're dialed in, having our eyes where they're supposed to be. That'll eliminate a lot of the explosives that's been happening. Yeah, guys, just focus in, lock in on your keys, and play your assignment.
Can you explain? I mean, obviously, it's one thing to say, here's what we got to do, but obviously, for anybody, I would imagine 50 yards play, 50 plays. What makes it hard to do it every single play?
Just going against an opponent, they getting coached up too. Different formations, different schemes. They playing with where they putting guys, putting where you. like you keying the guy and they playing with where he lined up at, and it's just a bunch of different things you really got to lock in on and make sure you're seeing what you're supposed to be seeing out there.
Anything else for John? Go ahead, Rod.
Miami likes to play that up-tempo, fast-paced game.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine getting the signals in is going to be real important, but I also imagine you probably cut down on the number of play calls that you're going to have for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're seeing?
Coach Stack and them, they got a good plan together. They got some stuff in place for us to be successful out there. Make sure we getting the calls in time. Making sure we got the calls that we need to execute at a high level.
Ken?
To go back to the first report, when you think about what you've done, you weren't, you came here from Hawkeye and now you're starting team years. Do you ever, stop and kind of think about it's been, a remarkable run for you?
Yeah, it's been. I think I had that moment after graduation, this past graduation, and then I don't know. I haven't really had time to slow down this season quite yet, and take a look back. But it's starting to get to that point where I'm starting to glance back at things and starting to realize kind of what's going on. So yeah.
Anything else for John? All right, thanks, John.
All right.
Congratulations. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Questions, Quez Jackson. Go ahead, Rod.
Coach Thacker described you as a natural tackler. And what have you seen from your teammates, in terms of tackling the right way and that type of thing, trying to stop the running back from getting those extra yards after contact?
Yeah, I started to think as a defensive unit, we did a better job tackling than we did last year. But then again, it's like those 3 or 4 extra yards that, could be like 2 yards or 1 yard gainers. It's just like the extra effort that they give, or just approaching the tackle wrong or having like wrong leverage, things like that. All that goes into it. But we definitely have to cut down on the 3 to extra yards, 3 to 4 more extra yards.
Go ahead. Colin.
In terms of, go back and watch film and stuff, like Coach Collins stuff, but, maybe two guys are doing the right thing, but one's not. And teams seem to be finding
Yeah.
the holes. I guess kind of as a leader on the defense, how do you get guys to focus in and follow their assignments? Is it a trust thing or is it a focus thing? Or is there anything you can remember?
I wouldn't say it's a focus thing because everybody's focused. Like that's the one thing I'm kind of confused about. But I think it's just the trust, like trusting the defense, trusting all the other 10 guys out there. We all have to be on the same page. Like all 11 guys have to be on the same page. If one person is not on the same page, it's gonna be an explosive. So I think it's really like the trust factor because we're focused. Like we know, we do a lot of film study. We have a lot of older guys that they study tendencies, they're in the playbooks, they're pretty much up to speed on everything. So I think it's just the trust, like actually trusting defense when you actually get into that moment of truth in the game.
Go ahead, Ken.
After the game Saturday, it seemed to me like you were, obviously you lost, so you
Mhm.
weren't happy, but you seemed particularly upset or
Mhm.
raw. And kind of like, was there anything particular about the game or the way you lost it
Mhm.
that kind of had you?
I just felt like it just one or two plays that could have changed the whole narrative of the game, and those 2 plays were like simply just assignment errors that we busted on our own, and like it just really upset me because I know how hard we work and I know what we put in and how hard we study, and you just can't have things like that happen because that's the difference from winning the game and losing the game, and I was just real emotional after that because we put so much into it, and we want to see these fans around here happy, you know what I'm saying? So it just it hurts.
Kelly.
In terms of just, you guys executing and getting off the field on defense, do you feel like the focus is there, that trust piece is rebuilding, or is it a situation where guys?
Yeah, I think given the circumstances from the past couple weeks, is rebuilding. When you get a couple of losses, it kind of everybody wants to start to panic, but I think we did a good job of refocusing our energy and trying to like rebuild and stay together, and just get back to what we were doing, and it's getting towards the end of the season. A lot of guys nicked up, beat up, and we just had to put our head aside us and put on our big boy pads, play football. It's a man's game, you know what I'm saying? So regardless of how you feel, you're gonna have to come out here and give it your all every day.
Rod?
You faced a lot of good quarterbacks this year. Quarterbacks who throw the ball, run the ball.
Hmm.
Now you got Van Dyke coming up.
Yeah.
Now, what is that challenge like for you guys?
It's certainly gonna be a challenge that I'm looking forward to facing. He's gaining a lot of confidence over the past couple of weeks. Knocking off some top teams in the ACC. So he's getting a feel of everything. He's getting real comfortable. He goes through all his progressions, and it's just really interesting. Like I don't think he's your average freshman. He's definitely he definitely has a lot of arm talent, and he's probably farther ahead than most freshman quarterbacks. So it's gonna be a challenge, and we have to treat it how we do each and every week. We got to come hard. We got to make plays when they come to us. It's simple. Make plays when they come to us. We know, what I'm saying, we're going to have a pretty good idea what they're going to do. We just got to make plays. That's all it is to it.
Ken?
For this session, we were asking Ryan and John about too much about there's 4 games left and time to running a little bit.
Hmm.
Is there a sense of we got to get our super right now?
Yeah.
Cut out the rest of the time?
Hmm. Oh, most definitely. Because, it's seniors on this team that, that they only have like 4 games left. So I want to give them the respect and, play my hearts out for them and have everybody play their hearts out for them and, try to get this bowl game. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get a bowl bid. I'm not trying to go home in December. So I think it's just us just fighting to the end and fighting for each other. And even if you're not feeling it, make sure you just remember all the other seniors who've been here, put on all the time and the work and effort, fight for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just change the narrative. We got to change the narrative. We got to do whatever we can to just change the narrative and stay together and fight for each other.
Kelly?
I was curious what you see from Tatum, just in terms of his development. He's got a little bit of burn this year,
Hmm.
and kind of what you see is kind of his ceiling here.
Chanel's got a high ceiling. Chanel's a great player. He kind of athletic. This man, he got all the tools. He's athletic, physical. He got instincts, and man, his ceiling is about as high as anybody is in the room. Trent it's up to him how far Trent wants to go in his career, because he can do whatever he wants to. We call him Baby Jack Jack because he don't know how to. Sometimes he don't know how to use his powers yet, but he got them. But Trent definitely gonna be a big time player in this program, and he gonna contribute a lot, especially to Coach Stacker.
Anything else? Ken?
Have you seen Cam Whitefoot in practice? Like, kind of get a sense of what he can do?
Yeah, Keon a dog. He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a dog.
Right, you're eager to see him get on the field.
I can't wait till he get on the field, for sure.
Did you watch the game on time?
Which one? The Braves? I watched a little bit of it, but
Like,
I ain't get to watch a whole lot of it. I went to sleep. I was tired from schoolwork and all that. So, but I woke up to it. I was happy. So.
well, someone who gave up 44.
Mhm.
And, maybe thought we'd be a little more
Yeah.
eager. You kind of have a good connection to the.
I have a little bit of a connection. I grew up a Georgia fan, Atlanta Falcons, Braves fans, and it really meant a lot to this city for them to win last night, and it got the spirits up a little bit. But I'm really worried about how we finish out this season right now. To be real with you, because that kind of it kind of got me down a little bit right now. But I'm just really trying to fight my way out this season and try to get everybody together and go out on a good mark with my brothers.
Anything else? All right. Appreciate you, man.
No problem.
Okay, last but certainly not least, Adonicas Sanders. Questions for Adonicas? Go ahead. Kelly?
Coach Bando talked yesterday. He said that you were a little bit mad when you were starting to have to split more time with Kalani, and that kind of seemed to have motivated you to kind of keep your game at the level. Do you feel like between that and then playing Duke, that's kind of kicked you up to another level in terms of playing offense?
I mean, I wasn't mad. Like, I'm happy for like every receiver to be on the field, and like during that situation, like when my name was called, I'm just going to make a play. So in that situation, when Kalani was in front of me, so I just say when my time comes, it's my time come, and just be ready to make the best of my opportunities.
Go ahead, Rod.
You also talked about your ability once you catch the ball to make it's not that you're stronger or faster, but you have that ability to escape tackles. What goes into all that?
First, I want to start off with I thank Coach Lou for helping me get my lower body strong. That helped me break a lot of tackles, and I don't like getting tackled in one-on-one coverage. So every time I make a catch and break a tackle, I always say, thank you, Coach Lou. I wouldn't say we had a talk. It was more of an ongoing thing. So like after the Duke game, that just brightened up my gameplay. So I just say we got to keep going, moving forward from here on out. And my job is to stay on the field and just make plays.
Kelly?
You've always had good hands and been very solid in terms of your blocking and all that stuff. It seems like your route running's improved a lot this year, and that's kind of maybe helped you as well in offense. And it seemed like it was coming on you at the end of last year. Is that just your comfort level on the offense, or time you put in studying, or anything in particular?
I would say, but this summer I worked on my hands a lot. So like when the ball come my way, I just try to focus hard as possible and just catch the ball and just make plays after once I secure the catch.
Do you feel like you're running better routes now, though?
Yes, I feel like I run better routes now, and I'm creating a lot of separation at the top of my routes so Jeff can find me and get me the ball.
Rob?
You didn't get a chance to play when you first got here. What do you tell the young guys like Boyd or King or Blackstreet there? You know, they want to play but haven't had a chance yet.
Like, I just tell a young guy, just keep working. Your time gonna come. Just gotta keep working and don't ever give up, and just stay chasing your dream, and like just put in extra work much as possible, and it's gonna pay off in the long run.
Ken?
Quez was saying, just kind of feeling an urgency and then realizing, we can't make these mistakes anymore. Don't make any other specials, what have you. I guess speaking for yourself, like as the season's getting closer to the end, are you kind of feeling like, man, we really gotta stack up some wins and play like we need to play?
Most definitely, because most of the games we lost, it was like little mistakes and stuff that can be game changing, cause us to win the game. So like we got a few games left. We just got to lock in and attention to details and start to stay focused on limiting the penalties so we can win here on out.
How do you make that next step? I mean, obviously, you're already playing already and practicing much.
We just gotta keep fighting and play hard, play all four quarters, and just keep working till the score says 0-0, and hopefully be the winning team when the clock ends.
Anything else for Adonicas? Ken?
Does the feel on him like it can be slippery at times where the footing isn't always the best, or have you found any issues with it?
Yeah, I would say this field get pretty slick when it's wet. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Adonicas.